Hi guys, Christian from Carrott. Today we're talking about the 4 ways of budgeting. Now before we start this video I need to be really clear. There are multiple ways of budgeting, but these 4 core methodologies I'm going to be talking about today are the ones that I've seen most commonly used. So today we're going to be talking about the envelope budgeting method. We're going to be talking about pay yourself budgeting. We're going to be talking about the 50-30-20 rule, and we're also going to be talking about zero-hour budgeting. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the envelope rule, which is the easiest rule. And essentially what happens in envelope budgeting is you use envelopes to designate cash for certain expenses. And when I mean cash, I actually mean literal physical cash. It's one of the best methodologies if you're first starting out and you're trying to see where your cash is being spent on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, or even on a monthly basis. And for people who are returning back to it from other budgeting methodologies, it can be quite a good way of determining where dollars are being spent. So a literal example is when you go grocery shopping or once a week, you literally just take a cash in the envelope for your weekly shop, and that will be your expense. And it has a saving element because you know exactly what you're spending, so you can choose to designate that saving in an envelope by itself and deposit that in a bank. Or other ways people use the envelope budgeting technique is to take those extra dollars that they don't spend and deposit those into their savings. So there's 2 ways of saving there. The second method, again rather easy, but it's a good methodology, is the zero out methodology. And zero out literally means to round down to the nearest 0. So an example of this could be in your digital bank account when you do your online banking every day or every week or even every month, is to round down to a number of zeros. So if you choose to round down to 10 and you have $506 in your bank account, you transfer those $6 to your savings account. Again, you can do that to 2 zeros. Again, the same methodology would apply. And this is good because it's something that's relatively easy. You can do it as long as you want. You can do it from the comfort of your home. There's no methods to stop you from doing that there. The third one is pay yourself budgeting. Again, a relatively straightforward where you pay yourself for those techniques. And again, it has the savings element in there. So pay yourself budgeting is about putting those expenses first and make sure those get paid. The 4th technique, and probably the one that I've seen most commonly used, is the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting. And I'll be honest, this is my favorite rule. Personally, I use this one. There's a number of reasons why I like this rule. First of all, the 50-30-20 rule has the flexibility in it to allow you to change it. So for those who aren't familiar with the 50-30-20 rule, 50% of your 50% of your income should go to your expenses. So whether that be rent, mortgage, and the like. 30% goes to your lifestyle expenses, so morning coffees or going out. That's one there. And the third one, the 20%, is your savings or debt payment schedule. And as I was alluding to just before there, the reason why I like this rule is those 50-30-20 percentages aren't fixed. It's something you can play around with depending on how you're going and how your particular lifestyle fits into it. So a lot of people tend to move those percentages up and down depending on how it suits them. And so that savings element again is in there, in that 20%, whether that's a combination of debt payment and savings, or savings pure savings rather, it's all there. So all four methodologies keep that savings element. But I just want to throw in an extra bonus tip in there for people who are budgeting and they've tried, and I've talked to lots of people, and they try budgeting for a couple of weeks and then they really let it off, and because they aren't getting any benefit out of it, or they don't feel like they can maintain it. And so one of the things I would say is, if you're trying to budget and you've had issues in the past, I'd ask you to share your results with someone. So if you're married or you've got a partner, that's a perfect opportunity to do it there. You can talk to them about it and maintain, keep each other in the loop. If you're single, you can share it with someone you trust. Talk to them about it, hold you accountable to it. And if you don't have that, I'll have an Excel spreadsheet or a piece of paper that you can see on a daily basis, whether you want to put it up in the bathroom, on the mirror, just something to keep you accountable for it. You've got to remember that this is for you, but you've also got to remember that this is important to you. You've set this goal. So if it doesn't work with you, you've got to go back and look at these different techniques and see something that actually does work for you. Again, this is why I like the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting, because not only does it have that flexibility in the numbers to change it once you're going through it, it also allows you to reward yourself. It has that 30% reward in there, so that you don't say all your money is going to savings or all your money is going to expenses. You have an element of reward in there, so it's easier to maintain that one. Guys, let me know what you think of these four core methodologies. Have I missed one? Is there something I should be talking about? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you really like the video, make sure you subscribe to get more of them. Thanks, guys.